I guess I should ride with Lex.
They talk about man. It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to wrong, but you get another legacy.
It's gotta do the shit, when I do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took her oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, soldier seat for some bloody beef. True nation, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. They don't wanna know, we tell them, they just won't believe. It's about the journey, I ain't worried, moving at my speed. Saying we ain't much to be desired, gotta disagree. Scarring one of mine, then we spinning like rotisserie. Go against the odds, I'm ready, this another victory. Cut different, niggas moving foul, where the referee. Moving like the military, something they ain't never seen. It's a one West world for the people, this is what they need.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General YAHANNA is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. But before then, Thursday, it's going down at the Durham Armory, our annual all-black party. Last year was also the Hebrew Academy graduation dinner. This year, Commander General YAHANNA got something special for y'all. It is going down. What's happening? A full-blown Hebrew concert featuring Shar, U.P.K. Natazal, Kwarak Ice. This is not something you want to miss. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, send them curses to them enemies.
Hey, shalom, 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 Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatam to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Tabah Shem Yahushai to all the sisters. I'm Precept Officer 1000 ADR with the I.S.U.P.K, which is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And what do we do in the I.S.U.P.K? You understand? What is our mission? What is our goal? Our goal is to wake up every so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian and letting them know that they are the 12 tribe of Israel, man. They are the people of this book. You understand? This book called, you understand, called the Bible. You understand? This is who you are. They told us we were Negroes, we were Africans. They told us, you understand, we are nothing. Meanwhile, you understand, come to find out, we are the world's greatest people on the earth, man. On the face of the earth, you understand, we are God's chosen people, man. And this is why we're suffering like this, because being God's chosen people, we got a few things, you understand, we got to obey. We got a few commandments we got to obey. We got a few precepts, you understand, laws that we got to abide by. And not abiding by them, not following them is the reason why, you understand, we become so low, you understand, amongst the other nation. This is what our goal is to bring back those people, bring back the nation of God back to God. And like this, we'll build our kingdom, man. You understand? We won't need, you understand, to join them, just like Martin Luther King said. You understand? He had a dream where black boys and black, you understand, white boys will be together. You understand? Black people and white people will be together, a melting pot. We will live in unity. This is nowhere in the Bible, man. This is against God. You understand? God during the Tower of Babel. You understand? What did God do? He separated the nations. He divided the nation. You understand? God divided the nation, you understand, because he wants every nation to have their own land, their own everything, you understand? Meanwhile, you have a master race or master nation that shows the other nation how to live, how to be. You understand? This is what the Bible is about, you understand? There's no equality in the Bible. Understand? There's God's people being on top of every other nation, man. That's what you find in the Bible. You understand? So that being said, this is why we're here to teach black, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian that they are the real Jews. They are the 12 tribe of Israel, man. It's time for you to realize this. It's time for you to come back home. Hey, shalom, says it's time for you to come back home and realize, you understand, your worth. Realize, you understand, your worth. Realize, you understand, your royalty, you understand, in this life. You understand? They're not going to tell it to you. Your Christian church is not going to tell it to you. They will tell you, you understand, join with the same oppressor that, you understand, that hates you. Join with the same oppressor, you understand, that doesn't want you to live, that despises you. Meanwhile, we should join ourselves together in righteousness. You understand? Martin Luther King's dream was a nightmare. What's up? You understand? Martin Luther King's dream was a nightmare. You understand? Matter of fact, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1, Bible question. All right. Let's go there. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1. I'll put it on the chat for you, all right? On the screen for you. And before we go in the verse, right? Before we go in the verse, I know you can't see my table, but we have, you understand, a couple things over here, like as you see, like little gift basket or gift bag that we're gonna give to the Levites. You understand? Levites that immigrated, you understand, in Montreal. So we have a couple clothes. Don't you understand? We will donate to them. We have those exactly bag that have like hygiene products in them. You understand? We have a few other things that we will give out, also like baby wipes and everything. So if you ever want to donate, you understand, to the I.S.U.P.K, so we could do the work of the Most High and help those, you understand, less fortunate than us, do so. All right, link, you understand? Don't fear, you understand? Don't fear, you understand, to give, so we could do the work of the Most High. All right. All right. Hey, shalom, officer Zabaja. What's going on, man? Matter of fact, you understand that we got Officer 1000 Zabaja from Toronto. You understand? with us. We have also a 500, you understand, Shah 1. Let's get it, man, you understand? The heavy hitters in Toronto, man. You understand? The owners of Toronto, man. You understand? All right. And Baba Kwasha, priest, can you bring me to Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1?
Come on, sir.
Why do that?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
What? Say it loud, Baba Kwasha. Go ahead with the first part.
Woe be unto the pastors.
Woe be unto the pastors, man. What does the word woe mean? To any Christian out there, you understand the chat, you could put it in the chat. What does the word woe mean? When you see woe in the Bible, W-O-E, what does that mean? Anybody, you could go ahead, priest.
Come on, sir. Means death and destruction.
Death and destruction, you understand? Destruction to those pastors, man. Destruction, you understand? Death to those preachers, man. You understand? Why? Why would God say, you understand? Why would God say something so harsh towards the pastor? Let's get more.
That destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
That destroyed and scattered the sheep of my pasture. We are the sheep of the pasture of the Most High, meaning we are God's chosen people. You understand? God only deals with the Israelite. God only cares about the Israelite. You understand? I know some of you, you understand, it's the first time you might hear these things. But when you read the Old Testament, what do you read? You read about God's love for his chosen people, only the Israelite. And you understand, throughout the entire, you understand, Old Testament, you see God destroying these other nations for the chosen people. For you, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. You understand? Now come with the New Testament. Everybody think that the New Testament is different. God cares about everybody. Meanwhile, Christ, the apostles, they were reading from the Old Testament. You understand? Which means it is the same thing. Nothing's changed. The Lord doesn't change. You understand? Nothing new under the sun. Woe be unto the pastors, you understand, that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, man. Because why? These pastors, you understand, been lying to us for the longest, man. These preachers, you understand, in the Christian church, been lying to so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian for the longest, man. And this is why you don't know that you are the real Jew. This is why you think that the Jewish man in Israel is the Jew. Meanwhile, you in captivity right here. You don't even know that you are the God's chosen people, man. Meanwhile, this in the Bible. It's in the Bible that we will go in slavery in slave ship. It is in the Bible we'll come in slavery in the West. You understand? Why you don't know these things? Because your pastor, you understand, have been destroying you. Meanwhile, you have to pay tithe. You have to give him money. Meanwhile, he's having sex with everything that moves. You understand? Yet you don't know who you are. Yet you are scattered. What did Martin Luther King say? Well, I have a dream. Black boys and white boys will be together. You understand? Black and white will all be together. That is destroying God's people, man. Because why? Because now you joining the same people, you understand, that is supposed to have some type of safety, some type of salvation. You sending them back, you understand, to the mouth of the lion. You sending them back to the mouth of the snake. You understand? How can you join with the same people, you understand, that wants your death, that wants to exterminate you, man? How can you join with the same people that doesn't even look at you as a human being? You understand? Death and destruction, man. And this message is for every other Christian preacher, man. This is why it is absolutely necessary to understand this Bible before you go out and preach this Bible. I did this class in French, right? I said this in French in my class. Those school, theology school, they don't teach you this truth. You understand? Hey, Sister Nawa Shalom, says Yahusha. Those theology school, they are white supremacy institution, man. They are not there to teach you anything about God. You understand? They are there to brainwash you into loving this society that God hates, into loving this nation that God hates. After they done rape, murder, pillaged, you understand? Almost wiped out certain tribe of native. Then here comes the same race that's going to tell you about God, that's going to tell you about the God, the good, loving God of the Bible, yet he doesn't love you. Yet every day we see our brothers being killed by the police. Every day we see, you understand, brothers being locked up, you understand, in the system. We don't have no salvation, no justice in this land, man. Yet these are the same people that will tell you to love the oppressor. Forget about your oppression, man. Meanwhile, God remembers, man. God sees what we're going on under, man. God sees, you understand, our life in this evil empire, man. The same way God seen when the Israelites were in Egypt and God was looking at their misery, God is seeing our misery today, man. And this is why he's gonna send Christ back, so he could save those his chosen people, man. Woe be to the pastors that scattered my sheep, man, that destroy and scattered my sheep, man. You understand? Bring me to Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 25 of the question. Drop down to the 25th verse.
So on call, sir. Verse 25. I have heard what the prophets said.
I heard what the prophet said. God is listening to you, man. You Christian preachers, you think you understand you could do every vile deviant act, molest kids, you understand, have sex with another man's wife. Then after that comes Sunday, oh Jesus, hallelujah, hallelujah. The word of God told me that we will be together, Sheshaiah 1. We will join hand in hand with the same oppressor that hates us, of Sheshaiah 1. God is listening to those preachers, man. God is listening to your filthy and disgusting lies, man. Go ahead.
That prophesied lies in my name.
That do what prophesies lies in his name. And this is why it is absolutely necessary to understand the Bible. Because saying that Christ is gonna save anybody from any nation as long as you love, that's a lie according to the Bible. Because they have prophets. There's a lot of prophecy. There are a lot of prophecies in this book. And when you read the prophecies in this book, you don't see salvation for everybody. You see salvation for a specific group of people that are getting oppressed and that doesn't have no justice. You understand? That are treated unjustly. This is what you see in the Bible, in the prophecies. So when you say Christ is gonna save the Chinese, you prophesizing, you understand, a false prophecy. You prophesizing, you understand, lies in the name of God. This is why it is absolutely necessary to understand the Bible, or don't talk at all. And coming in the UPK, and this is why we have a trooper program in the UPK. You understand? We have a trooper program like this. You could learn. You understand? You do your time, you learn, you read, you ask questions. You understand? Then after that, you pass your test to become a priest. You understand? To become somebody that could be, you understand, teach others like this. You don't teach lies. Because why? Woe to the pastors that prophesy, you understand, that scatter and destroy the sheep. Well, you know what? God is hearing those pastors that are prophesying, you understand? Prophesying, you understand, lies, that are telling you lies. God loves everybody is a lie. Go ahead, Officer Shawan.
Saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
Well, wait a minute. I think I know somebody that did the same, priest. I don't know if you know. I know somebody that said, I had a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream. So like it, Officer Shawan, but I know somebody like that, man.
Right.
We just celebrated, you understand? Well, the world celebrated Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is in the Bible. Understand? Martin Luther King was for loving the oppressor. Yet, he is in the Bible. This is the prophecy, you understand? Or this is what God said about Martin Luther King, man. Who else you know that came out, you understand? What other preacher you ever seen that came out outside, you understand, in front of everybody saying, I have a dream, I have a dream. Understand? I know Martin Luther King. If you know anybody else, you could let me know. But Martin Luther King's dream was a lie. You understand? Was a lie. And plus, he didn't even have that dream of Sisha. That was from somebody else. He stole exactly, you understand, somebody else's sermon, and you understand, make you believe that God will unite the oppressor with the, you understand, with the so-called oppressed. Read that part again, Babu Kwasha, please, for the Christian in the chat.
Sir. Saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
I have a dream. I have a dream. I will reach the mountaintop. Well, you're gonna see tonight. He reached the mountaintop. You understand? I used to say that. I used to say when the Christian believe when you go into heaven and everything, fly to heaven. The rapture. He got raptured. Martin Luther King got raptured. Also, Shawan. You understand? He reached the mountaintop, man. And you will see that tonight. You're about to see that tonight, man. You understand? We're going to show you Martin Luther King was a filthy, disgusting man. Yet, this is your preacher. This is who you look up to. This is who your preacher look up to. You understand? Martin Luther King was doing everything that the Bible said not to do. You understand? You see it here. He lies. He prophesied lie, saying that white people and black people will be in unity in the future, and we all be together in unity and love. That's a prophecy. That's making a prophecy. That's prophesying, and that's a lie. You understand? Matter of fact, what we could see is that the oppressor is becoming more and more evil. You understand? The oppressor doesn't give a damn about, you understand, killing us without pity. The oppressor cares more about the dog. You understand? Right. You remember that football player that they arrested, you understand, for dog fight?
Sir. Slacky. His name's on the tip of my tongue.
Mike, what else is about you? Con, you understand? That brother, they arrested that brother, you understand, for dog fight.
Right.
Meanwhile, the oppressor go in South America for dog fight, man. Meanwhile, you could see in the history of the oppressor, they were fighting dogs in America, man. They go, you understand, to the highland to, you understand, to see cockfights, man. Rooster fight, you understand? I don't want anybody not be mistaken my language. Rooster fights, you understand? Meanwhile, they arrested the brother, you understand, for dog fight. Yet, how many oppressors, you understand? How many murderers that are free today? You understand? Yet, the native Indian, you understand, are in reservation on their own land. Nobody's arresting the oppressor. Nobody's arresting those damn devils. You understand? Martin Luther King's dream was a nightmare. And it was a lie. It was a false prophecy. You understand? Go ahead. Was that it on the verse?
Come on, sir.
All right. We got something for you. We're gonna jump. You understand? Babu Kwasha, priest, if you may, give me the video about, you understand, that Kennedy dog. You understand, that Kennedy dog that spoke against Martin Luther King.
Come on, sir.
You understand? Come to find out. You understand? The FBI, all the elites, they knew about Martin Luther King's sexual deviance. Yet, what do they do? They give him a feast day. Now, the question, if Martin Luther King was so much for black people, right, Akim? If Martin Luther King was such an example for black people, they gave them a holiday. Where's Dessalines holiday? You understand? Dessalines freed the Haitians, you understand? The first nation, you understand? The first so-called black nation that took is independence from, you understand, those oppressors. Where's Dessalines holiday? Where's Toussaint Louverture's holiday? Where's, you understand, those brothers in Jamaica's holiday? You understand? Matter of fact, they're not even gonna give you Marcus Garvey holidays, man. Because where's Malcolm X holiday? Yet they give you Martin Luther King. Why is that?
Right.
You should ask yourself that question, man. If Martin Luther King was such an example for black people, somebody that we should follow, that all white people love, why they don't give, you understand, the real fighter, the real fighters, you understand, a holiday? Why they don't do that? Come to find out, you about to see Martin Luther King. Go ahead, Officer Shawan. Officer Zabaji, Officer Shawan. Anytime you want to add something, go ahead. All right, feel free. I can.
Come on, Costa.
No sweat.
Martin loved white women and food.
The minute ones turned into a nightmare.
What did he think of Negro leaders, Martin Luther King, for example? The other mention.
Well, I don't know what he, well, I do know what he thought of him later. When he said what an incredible speaker he was during that Freedom March thing, and he acknowledged having made that
pause it right there, He was a great speaker, right? That's what you say. They know he was such a great speaker. You understand? He could get, a 1 million man march. Isn't your pastor a great speaker as well? You go in church on Sunday. Why? Because your pastor is so ecclesiastic. Because you understand? Oh my God, God talked to me last night, brothers and sisters. You understand? Your pastor is so eloquently, you understand, giving you the word of God according to you. That's why you go to church. Well, Martin Luther King was like this as well. Go ahead, Officer Shaman.
Then he told me every tape that the FBI had of Martin Luther King when he was here for the Freedom March. And he said this with no bitterness or anything.
Pause you right there. He was getting free during that Freedom March. That's what he was doing. You understand? That's what he was getting released. You understand? He was getting raptured during that march, that Freedom March, man. They have tape of Martin Luther King. The FBI have tape recordings, man, of Martin Luther King. You understand? And what he was doing. And this is something that you should understand as being in this school, right? The same way that they're investigating Martin Luther King, they're doing this for us as well. You understand? So if you think you're gonna come in the UPK and you buy a horse, you understand? Buy a horse and do drug, they know about you, man. You understand? They know about you. Because every leader, every so-called black leader, you understand? Every prominent black man that stand up for black people or for black people struggle and plight, they're all being investigated. You understand? Matter of fact, you brothers know about Benai Briff. Understand? You brothers know about Benai Briff and what they did last year. Why? Because they're watching us, man. And as the same for you, sisters. Don't think you're gonna come in the UPK and you understand wear a turban on your head. You understand? And after that, be a whore secretly and everything. They know about you. You understand? I have multiple boyfriends and everything. They know about you. Man, it's gonna be a matter of time before it release. So if you think you come in the UPK without and not changing your life, stay outside. Don't even think about joining the UPK if you're not gonna change your life and be somebody better. Be somebody that you understand that repented from their sins. All right, go ahead, Officer Shawn.
Calling up all these girls and arranging for a party of men and women. I mean, sort of an orgy in the hotel and everything.
Martin Luther King
was doing what? Was doing what, Officer Shawn?
Having orgies.
Having orgy. What? So Salakia, my mind is like a virgin. What is an orgy, Officer Shawan?
Salakia, I swear. You got a bunch of men and a bunch of women all sleeping together.
Oh, that's the term they call gang bang today, right?
Kind.
Well, this is what also you understand, Salakia. This is what Mike was doing. You understand? They want to call Obama's wife Big Mike. He's the Big Mike. You understand? This is Big Mike. Big Mike was having, you understand, orgies, man. Having sex, you understand, with being butt naked in front of men with a bunch of other women, man. That's what Martin Luther King was doing. Meanwhile, you praise Martin Luther King. Why? Because he has a suit and tie. Why? Because he look like, you understand, somebody, you understand, that you should respect with that suit and tie. Meanwhile, those Italian gangsters, they're with the suit and tie as well. your politicians, your elites that are killing, you understand, black men and having a bunch of agendas, you understand, on black people. You understand? There were suit and ties. Meanwhile, because of that suit and tie, you respect Martin Luther King. Meanwhile, he was having gangbang orgies. You understand? With prostitute. You. Let's get more. Let's get more.
First he said, oh, you know, and I said, oh, but Jack, that's so terrible. I mean, that man is, you know, such a phony man. Well, no, this was when there was just one girl. We had the conversation. And Jack said, oh, well, you know, he would never judge anyone in any sort of way. Oh, well, you know, they never really said anything against Martin Luther King. Since then, Bobby's told me of the tapes of these orgies they have, and how Martin Luther King made fun of Jack's funeral. He made fun of Cardinal Cushing and said that he was drunk at it. And things about they almost dropped the coffin. Well, I mean, Martin Luther King is really a tricky person, but I wouldn't know. He never said anything against Martin Luther King to me. So I don't know if Bobby would be the one to find out what he ever really thought of him in that way. But Bobby told me later. I just can't see a picture of Martin Luther King without thinking, you know, that man's terrible.
All right.
There's a feedback. Someone might have to mute their mic.
Come. No, that was the end of the video piece. You understand? And
yeah, I was saying the whole time it was echoing when you were playing it.
Okay, come. You understand? This is what they know about Martin Luther King. He was a phony man. Yet this is the image of black salvation, you understand, in America. This is the man that they tell us, you understand, we'll give you an holiday. Black Martin, you understand, Martin Luther King holiday. Meanwhile, he was a phony man. The real men that stand up like Commanding General YAHANNA, you understand? Like Officer Bun, like the generals, they're not gonna give them a holiday. No way. Officers of Baja, they're not gonna give you a holiday. They're not gonna give a holiday, you understand, to Officer Shy One. Even though you feed the poor, even though you go help the homeless, even though you go help, you understand, the Native Indians, they're not gonna give you a holiday. But that man that's having sex, you understand, with prostitute, that's having orgies, that's the man that they're gonna give a holiday to, man. And that's the man they're gonna tell you, well, this is your image, black people. This is, you understand, you should be like this man, like Martin Luther King, a serious man. Meanwhile, he's having sex butt naked, you understand, in front of men and women. They have tapes and videos of him. You understand? Now, I understand you might say it's far-fetched. They don't have tape, they don't have videos. I'm going to give you a situation that was happening, you understand, in Montreal. If you know anything about MK Ultra, right? They were giving people LSD over here. They was, you understand, like they were giving those prostitutes the LSDs to give to the client. And once they go to the hotel, they were recording, you understand, that you have a big mirror in the hotel. They was in the other room watching everything that was happening to that man. That's in Montreal. So don't think it's far-fetched for a prostitute, you understand, for a man to go to the hotel with a prostitute and somebody recording at the same time. They had the recording of Martin Luther King, you understand, expose. You understand? Hey, shalom, Sister Barcroft. Shalom. Y'all shemar tabashim yo shot. They have the expose of Sister Baja. His vile conduct.
Right.
And this is why the UPK is the best place to be, because you know we're not gonna act like Martin Luther King. You're not gonna see none of us buying prostitutes. You're not gonna see none of us, you understand, having sex with another man's wife, having sex with children. We have multiple wives, but these women are our women. You understand? But we're not gonna have sex with the next man's wife. Well, come to find out, Martin Luther King was doing exactly that as well. You understand? Matter of fact, Officer Shawan, you could drop this. We'll go. I'll share the documents I have. All right.
Come on, Council.
Then we got the documents straight from the FBI. You understand? Declassified documents, man. Understand? Page 15. Y'all could see my screen perfectly?
Salaki, I don't know. Is it possible to zoom in?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, you gotta zoom in.
What about now?
Yeah, that should be 12.
Okay, come. No sign Christ. Let me go up. All right, it starts right here. Now in page 15, say King expressed his regret that he could not spend any time with her at the SCLC retreat held at Early House, Warrenton, Virginia, on September 12 to 17, 1967. In addition to his regular girlfriends, King has had assignations with a variety of women, single and married throughout the country, man. I believe assignation. Matter of fact, look up the word assignation, Bob Question. Somebody look up that word, because you understand, you know my English. I'm a Levite, you understand? My English is not that good, you understand? I want to use that next time. If it's about, you understand, sex, I want to use that. You having assignation out there, man. You understand? Well, this tell you, like, you understand? You got the word about question?
So, okay, Adia?
Come.
I'll read for you. I got it on my phone.
Come, Bible question.
No, sir. Just let me know when you want me to read.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want the definition?
Come, please.
Come, 1 second. What was the word again?
Assignation. ASSIGNATIONS.
1 second. Let me get it.
Mm-hmm.
Salaki, I don't want. I found it.
Go ahead.
Got it. Khan, sure, you want? You can read it.
Come on, Council. This is a definition of assignation.
Mm-hmm.
It means an appointment to meet someone in secret.
To meet someone in secret. Why was Martin Luther King meeting those single women and married women throughout United States in secret? What was he doing? Well, you have it, you understand, in the video that we just played. Orgies. You understand? Sex with single women and married women as well. That's your preacher. Was it Martin Luther King a preacher, Hakim?
Right.
Well, this is why your preacher is exactly a sexual deviant today. This is why, you understand, that preacher in Haiti, you understand, molested, you understand, this little girl in front of the church.
Khan. He's the godfather. He's the godfather of the black church.
Khan. You understand? Martin Luther King is the godfather of the black church, just like Officer Zabajah just said. You understand? Because all these preachers are looking up to Martin Luther King. They all want to be like him.
Right.
And this is why you have a sexual deviancy problem in the black neighborhood, man. Right. This is why we have, you understand, the sexual deviancy in the Latino and Native Indian neighborhood, man, because of men like Martin Luther King, man. Yet this is the man that the white man tell us to praise, man.
And Salaki, if I may.
Of course, priest, of course.
Like, even with, like, it's just so ironic, right? Have y'all heard about the love statue that they brought out? Y'all seen it going through the timeline, right? They made a statue of supposed to be Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King, right? With an embrace, right? And now first they just left the arms because they can't. This is supposed to be a statue about love, but they left off the faces, right? Mm-hmm. Like 100 years from now, they're gonna not tell you that's about Martin Luther King. They're gonna tell you it's something else in Boston, right? But they didn't want to see that black face. Now, when you look at that statue from certain angles, it's suggesting sexual positioning. Salaki, I'll say it like that.
God, Come, you understand? They know what they're
right?
doing. I can,
That's
you
what you're
understand?
seeing,
Come, please.
right? And it's
Understand? They
such
know
a
what.
fitting statue for Martin Luther King, because that's what he was about.
Come, come,
He
and me,
was a
and me,
host, so he gets a statue about hoeing.
come, please, come. And meanwhile, also like one of the reasons they wouldn't put the face, if you realize, you understand, even in the TV shows, they take away the black love, the black family structure, right? So having Martin Luther
Right.
King with his wife in the embrace will show black love. You understand? Kids will come up, look up to that. Families will look up to that. You understand? Single mothers will look up to that and be like, well, you know what? I want to embrace like that. I want a man that embrace me like that every night. But they don't want to give, you understand, promote black love for our people. They don't want to promote, you understand, you understand, a black man and white and black woman, you understand, in a household, you understand, where it's strong and solid. They don't want to promote that. But they want to promote what exactly, you understand? God damn. So like, they want to promote exactly this filth. You understand?
Yeah, I just have to show it to you for a second, right?
Yeah.
So this is the embrace audio, right? Now from this side, you can see it's two arms, right? But from certain angles, Salakia, from certain angles, it looks like Martin Luther King was a munch, Salakia, from certain angles,
Good.
right?
You understand?
And then remember, we did the story last week about the whole getting the bullet train,
Mm-hmm.
right? The Edomite officer who slept with five of her colleagues, right? Someone made a Instagram meme, and they took part of the statue, and it looked like she was doing some unholy things with it. Wow.
Good.
Good night.
Hey, good. I see it. You understand?
I'm gonna get rid of it.
But this is what Martin Luther King was about, man. You understand? Secret meeting with women, you understand, married woman and single woman. Your preacher does the same today. You understand? Your preacher does the same today because he follows Martin Luther King. You understand? Let me get more on this thing.
I can read it for you, Adiar. What do you want me to read?
Yeah, come. Start with the where I left off. They generally profess love.
I got it.
Come, please.
Yeah. They generally profess love for King, and mention how they missed meeting him with meeting Salakia, missed meeting with him.
You understand? That's that meeting, man. That's that special meeting, man. That's that rapture meeting, man. That's the meeting with the different angles, man. You understand? They love having sex. Go ahead, please.
No, it just goes to show you, this is why the black community is so messed up, because who we choose to put in leadership, and we've been doing this since back when we were leaving Egypt with King Saul, right? We always seem to put like someone who's not morally fit, right, to lead us into destruction. And that's where we've been ever since Martin Luther King has taken us down this destructive path of love the person who's gonna sick dogs on you, right? Sick dogs on you and spray us with fire hoses, and we're supposed to go eat in their restaurants.
Please, come. Understand? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It gets more interesting, Akim. It gets more interesting. Wait until you reach page 17. Y'all gonna see some.
Good.
Let's get more.
Okay. Their meetings are held in various places, hotels and motel rooms.
Mm-hmm.
His or her office late at night, the woman's home or apartment, and at King's home in Atlanta when his family is away.
That means he's having sex with those women in the same bed. He's sleeping with his wife. In the same bed, his kids is going to come up on the bed and everything. Martin Luther King is filthy and disgusting. Understand? He was a filthy and disgusting Negro, man. That mean those people might have herpes. Those children would get herpes. That wife would get herpes. You understand? This is how disgusting, you understand, Martin Luther King is. Yet this is the man that the white men tell you to, you understand, to worship. You understand, to the man the white men tell you, you understand, to follow, to be like. And you think, you understand, well, because he had 1 million men behind him, you think that's something. He's a serious man. You understand? Nah, man. Let's get more, man. Let's get even wild.
Khan. King apparently tries to keep these rendezvous clandestine, but some of his affairs have come to the attention of his associates. Several of his Salaki, I'm trying to see that word, but it's kind of
paramours.
Some of his paramours have manifested jealousy and stated that they were tired.
It should be tired.
Salaki, I'm trying to see it.
Yeah, you understand? I think they have a.
No, that's Tearled.
Oh yeah,
Tearled. I was playing second fiddle.
Meaning,
listen, it is that's basically saying some of the hoes didn't want to be second.
they didn't want to be side piece no more.
He's the Salakia. You know how they say Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson. Then you got Michael King. He was the next one balling. He was playing. He got a team of them, and they crying about Salakia being second fiddle. That's crazy.
Understand? They don't want to be the side piece no more. They want to be the man chick.
Right.
Chick. You understand? That's like every Christian woman out there. That's what we see out there. You understand? This is the type of man Martin Luther King was, man. And let me add this too. So he was going to the women's houses, the one that was single and the one that was married too.
Right.
So that he was sleeping on you understand, having sex on another man's bed. You understand? This is how, you understand, Martin Luther King, man, is exactly just like any preacher in the Catholic Church. Your preacher, you understand, whatever religion you are, you understand, Martin Luther King is what you see in the black community today, man. You understand?
Martin Luther King is the original hoe that would be out hoeing Saturday night and coming to the church on Sunday.
Come on. You understand? Come on, priest. Just like you see today, man. And this is why you don't respect God. This is why you take loving God and following God as something like it's a joke. It's a feeling that I have. No, it's not a feeling. Following God is following the laws and commandments that He set down for us to follow, man. That's what following God is. Understand? But you have men like Martin Luther King that's gonna smile in your face, tell you I love God, hallelujah. You understand? Yet he's out there having sex with everything.
Right.
Having sex with everything I can. Understand? Go ahead, Officer Zabadi.
Okay. So, Lucky, where were we?
Yeah, after fiddle.
King, on the other hand, has indicated on several occasions that he too was jealous and did not want his girlfriends fooling around with others. Good night.
he wanted to be the boss, the pimp. You understand?
With other men.
Good. I mean, he wanted to be the pimp, man. Let's jump down to the next page, Baba Kwasha. Hold on. Not this page. Okay. All right. Go. Start where say on January 5.
Come on, please. On January 5th, 1964, King and several solo officials checked into the Willard Hotel in Washington, D.C. In a room nearby was a Baptist minister from Baltimore, Maryland, who had Salakia,
That's right.
who had brought to Washington several women parishioners from his church. The group met in his room and discussed which young woman among the parishioners would be suitable for natural or unnatural sex acts.
What is it? This is what I don't get. What is it? Unnatural sex acts, Akim?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
They're most likely talking about Salakia for anal sex.
Come. You understand? That's exactly what it is. You understand? So this is what Martin Luther King and another Baptist preacher. You understand? When you see those churches go on retreat, you understand? I don't know if you ever heard that, Akim. Those big churches, you understand? Those Christian churches, they go on retreat. When they go on retreat, there's a lot of orgies. There's a lot of sex that's going on. You understand? And if you're not in the elite section, you will not know about it. You'll be in the crowd, you understand, singing, dancing, you understand, catching the Holy Ghost. Yet when they're going these retreat, they're having sex with each other.
Right. That's literally the only reason young men go to church.
Gone. To have sex with women.
Yeah, because they know like the person running the church has no discipline in the church, and they run that church like a whorehouse.
Exactly. You understand? A woman will be with a man in the church. Leave that man. Go have sex, you understand? Take another man in the same church. That's the Christian church, man.
Right.
That's adultery. You understand? This is you understand? Unnatural sex. You understand? So like you understand the smell of that room after, man. God damn. You understand? And I'm pretty sure that they wasn't using no you understand? No protection.
Good night.
So that means he's having orgies with all these women at the same time. Unnatural sex at the same time. Lord Almighty, you understand? You understand? This is a hell on earth. This is a goddamn, you understand, disgusting sight, Icon. You understand? This is what was going on during the time of Martin Luther King. Let's get more Bubble question.
Okay. When one of the women protested that she did not approve of this, the Baptist minister immediately and forcibly raped her.
Damn. In front of Martin Luther King. In front. This is the dream. This is the dream of Martin Luther King. This is the mountaintop. You understand?
Good night.
This is the mountaintop of Martin Luther King. This is the dream. I have a dream. This is his dream. Meanwhile, we're living in a nightmare in America, man. Meanwhile, you understand, all of our neighborhood, you understand, have been taken, you understand, taken down. This is Martin Luther King, Martin Luther, you understand, dream. This is your king. You understand? Let's keep on going on. On January 6th.
On January 6th and 7th, at least 12 individuals. I'm trying to see that word, but it's kind of blocked.
Nearly
equally divided between men and women, including King, officers of the SCLC, and others bearing the title of Reverend.
Of
participating
what?
Reverend.
Of Reverend. Now this talking about other preachers with King. Let's get more.
Bearing the title of Reverend participated in a sex orgy.
Yeah. I mean, all these pastors, you understand, with Dr. King and other women are having sexual orgies, you understand, everybody butt naked in the room.
Right.
This is the man that you understand that tell you to respect. This is the man. I can be coming in this truth, right? Now it doesn't happen no more, like you understand, more or less. But coming in the truth, when I was speaking against Martin Luther King, right? There was a bunch of people that was saying, you understand, yo, you foul, you evil, you understand, yo, you love white people, you understand, for bringing those things out. Yet we see those same things happening in the Christian church today. You understand? And if you're not part of the elites in the church, you understand, elite in your religious organization, you're not gonna see these things happen. You're gonna think, you understand, it's all about God, it's all about serving God, it's all about hallelujah, catching the Holy Ghost. Yet they're having sex with each other, orgies with each other.
Right.
You understand? Matter of fact, there was a preacher that was saying, you understand, the money that they receive in tithe, sometimes they take part of this money and go celebrate another preacher's birthday. You understand? How do they celebrate their birthday? By having sex, you understand, orgies. You understand? It's time for you to leave the Christian church, man. It's time for you to wake up, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. There's no leader, you understand? After Christ, there's no leader on this earth but commanding General YAHANNA, man. Why? Because he serves Christ. You won't see commanding General YAHANNA's name in this. Martin Luther King will be welcome in Montreal, welcome in Toronto, welcome in, you understand, in Halifax. Why? Because they do the same thing. You understand? Montreal have places, you understand, movie theaters where you could watch, you understand, sex porno and have sex inside the theater. Montreal have, you understand, like groups where you could go, you understand, and have orgies. Back in the day, they used to advertise it on the newspaper. A couple years ago, they stopped advertising it on the newspaper, but it was on the newspaper. In the back of the newspaper, they used to advertise those orgies, man. Martin Luther King will be welcome in Toronto, yet Bernard Brief called the government not to allow Community General YAHANNA to come in Canada because we're waking up Black people, man. We're waking up like Hispanics and Native Indian, man. It's time for you to realize, you understand, what to follow, man. It's time for you to leave the Christian church, man, because this is what's going on in there. Yet every Sunday, you in there, you understand, yelling, I love Jesus, I love Jesus. You understand? Yet this is what your preacher is doing, man.
Okay.
You understand? Let's get a little bit more.
Okay. And Salakia, can I bring a priest up after?
Yeah, come, of course, priest, of course.
Okay. Officer Shaiwan, can you get Ezekiel 33 and just hold that for later?
Okay.
Where were we?
After orgies.
Okay. I got it. Excessive consumption of alcohol and the use of the vilest language imaginable served only as a backdrop to the acts of degeneracy and depravity, many of which were Salakia omitted in the communal atmosphere. With the onlookers as
entertained as
the participants.
You understand? They were getting drunk, they were getting high. You understand? This is what was going on in these rooms. These are Christian preachers. These are reverends. Getting drunk, getting high. You understand? Meanwhile, they will tell us, you understand, because we use foul language sometimes, you understand, we call a woman bitch when she's a bitch, you understand? We use, like, you understand, we bring the point directly to people's face. So because of that, they will say, you understand, well, you're not of God. Well, you're a Christian using those same type of languages when you're not there. When he's doing his orgies.
Salakia.
Go ahead, please.
Even as I read this and knowing how foul this brother was, right? He sounded like one of them brothers that gets off on thinking that him sleeping with the oppressor's daughter means he's getting revenge for slavery, right? He probably one of those brothers that had the oppressor's daughter call him a nigga when they were doing their deeds. That's what this sounds like when you read it.
Well, it was just filthy and disgusting, you understand? Just like anybody, any Christian, you understand? Just like anybody, just like we were without the I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand?
Right.
This is how we were as well back in the days, you understand? Like, and this is why, you understand, UPK changed our life, and this is why we're having those classes, you understand, to change you understand, to wake up black people so we could change our community. We could change, you understand, the way we live. We could change the, you understand, we could change the fact that, you understand, in our neighborhood no child is being molested. In our neighborhood, no woman, you understand, will have a man and that man leave her, you understand, and she's in pain for the rest of her life, or you understand, or traumatized for the rest of her life. You understand? Following the UPK, following, you understand, what Commanding General Yana has put down, you understand, we'll save a lot of lives, man. We'll
Right.
fix the community, man. You
Right.
understand? Meanwhile, the Christian church, for the longest time, the Christian church been there, everything has been getting worse and worse. You understand? There's a brother at my slavery. The brother was asking, well, there's so many churches in Haiti. You understand? There's so many churches in Haiti. All those prayers. Why God is keeping, you understand, Haiti like this with when all these people are praying? Now I made the brother realize, you understand. I went to Proverbs, you understand, and showed the brother, you understand, God doesn't listen to our prayers because we don't listen to the commandments. You understand? That's why the Haiti is like this, man. Meanwhile, you understand, just changing our life, you understand, following the right people, you understand, will you understand, benefit our people, man, benefit our
Damn
neighborhood.
right.
You understand? Let's get more. You understand? I know I'm being long with this, but you understand, this is something that for you to have, you understand, as weapon as well for Martin Luther King, like maybe next year. Go through it. It's about 200 pages, you understand, of disgusting and filth. You understand? But have this as your weapon, all right, Akim?
Come.
Khan.
Let's get a little bit more.
Khan. Many of those present engaged in sexual acts, natural as well as unnatural.
Now, a question that I have with this, you understand? I'm pretty sure that was the men were having sex with each other as well. I'm pretty sure. Understand? Because General Muhammad made a class, and he was talking about a man having a threesome, you understand, or having a gangbang with a woman, you understand, bunch of men naked with each other. Why would a man be naked in front of another man? General Muhammad put it the best, because that man, you understand, in between all this act, he wants, you understand, that rod to slip in his mouth. In between of everything, he wants, you understand, that rod to, you understand, to go inside of him. That's why he will be exactly, you understand, butt naked in front of another man, and being as, you understand, drunk, you understand, drunk and high. I'm pretty sure that we're having sex with each other. Those pastors were having sex with each other as well, like him. I'm pretty sure of it.
You know what also makes that's perfect. That makes perfect sense, because the person, one of Martin Luther King's advisors, right, is of that community. Right. That's where he got the whole "don't be aggressive, be a BTCIH." Right. That's where he got that from. That's what got black people killed. Right. Martin Luther's lust. So that definitely makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that those are unnatural sex. I can wasn't just for the woman, man. You understand? So that unnatural sex, you understand, was for the men as well. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Let's get more.
Okay. Good night, Slocky. I just read something else. One second. King more than once boasted of his drunken condition.
Man, you understand? Hey, it's right there. That's what I'm saying. You understand? He's a drunk. You understand? He's drunk. You understand? Doesn't have, you understand, his intellect in the, you understand, capacity. You understand, to think. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, there was some more wild, evil thing that was going on in this room, man.
Right.
Let's get it.
When one of the women shied away from engaging in an unnatural act, King and several other of the men discussed how she was to be taught and initiated into this respect.
Which mean they raped her. You understand? Right. Isn't that how it goes? If she says no, you understand? She says no. No is no. If she says no, and you do the act, that's a rape. I seen something the other day, Akim. A man, I believe he was an Arab. He had sex with a woman, and you understand, he was wearing, you understand, a condom. He was wearing a condom, but the guy wanted to take out the condom. The woman said, "No, don't take out the condom." He took out the condom without her knowing. Now they just charged that Arab in Montreal. You understand for rape? You understand the same charge as raping her.
Good.
Just for taking out the condom. Meanwhile, King was raping women literally. She said no, she didn't want to have no anal sex. You understand? King was like, you know what? I'm a backdoor you anyway. And not only King, the other preachers that were there will backdoor her.
Right.
You understand?
That's Salakia.
Go ahead, please.
This is exactly why black people, you gotta, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, watch who you put as your leader, right? Even today, right? Okay, so today, Salaki, I'll say it like this. Last year, during the lockdowns and when the lockdowns were still going on and when it was just lifting out, you seen people starting to gather outside. And there was a group of Native brothers and sisters that I seen on the street. I got an interview of one of them, right? And they were protesting and shutting down the intersection of Dundas Square, right where we camp. You see that big intersection everyone walks through?
Come on.
Right, they were shutting it down. So I'm talking to one of the brothers after they did what they did. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And they basically say, yeah, this is what our leader's telling us to do. We got a bunch of other protests coming up. And I'm telling him, like, this is bad leadership.
Yeah.
Right? To send your people into a situation that's highly dangerous, that's going to get them into trouble. Right? And that's what Martin Luther King did for us. He sent us into a situation that's highly dangerous and has gotten us into trouble. And our house has been destroyed ever since. Right? The black money doesn't stay in the community more than, I'll give it 15 minutes. Right? The stat is worse than that, but they say the black money doesn't stay in the black community more than 15 minutes. That's because of Martin Luther King's nightmare.
You understand? And let me add to this as well, Akim, like Martin Luther King didn't love women, you understand? He didn't have no respect for sisters.
Right.
Because in between that, you understand, he wasn't just having sex with white women, he was having sex with sisters as well. You understand? Like just like it said, like people, you understand, met church members. You understand? Church members and everything. So take over for me, Baba Quash, all right, priest?
God. Right. Salakia, I'm gonna read some more. Salakia. King told her that to perform such an act would help your soul. Good night. It will help you. Right? That's disgusting. Right? That's the words of a man who doesn't love his people. Right? He's a predator. Someone you wouldn't want your daughter to be around. Right? He's telling the young woman, do something that you don't want to do because it's going to help your soul. Right? And he's not telling her stop using drugs. Stop being a whore because that's going to help your soul. He's telling her what sexual act to do with him and a bunch of other men. Right? That's going to help her soul. That's horrible. That's how you know he's not a prophet. Right? He was not a man of the Lord. Right? We're going to read what Salakia, Officer Shariwan.
Counsel.
Can you pull up that Ezekiel 33? Right? Because you're going to see what a man of the Lord should do.
Counsel. Right. 33 and what verse?
Salakia. You could start. You could start at 1.
Come. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying.
Right. So Ezekiel was a prophet, right? The word of the Lord came to him, right? He had a message from the Lord that he's going to give to the people. Keep reading.
Verse 2. Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them.
Read.
When I bring the sword upon a land.
Read.
If the people of the land take a man of their coast,
Read.
and set him for their watchman.
Right. That's what a Salaki, that's what the priest and prophet are, right? The men of the Lord, they're watchmen, right? They take a man and set him over the people to be a watchman, right? That's what the Lord does. He has someone over you that's supposed to be a watchman. King was supposed to be a watchman, right? King was just King was a porn star, right? Y'all building statues for porn stars and telling black people that they're supposed to follow him. King was not a watchman for his people, right? The Lord brought swords upon our land so many times. The oppressor has been using swords and rifles and ropes and gasoline on us. Keep reading.
Verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet.
A watchman is supposed to blow the trumpet, right? You blow the shofar or the trumpet for danger, right? You see a man is in the tower, he sees the danger ahead, right? He's watching, he can see out miles because that tower is high. He sees danger on the horizon. He blows that trumpet. Keep reading.
And warn the people.
Right, Salaki. See, that sounds like danger right there.
Salaki.
Right? And he warns the people. Keep reading.
Verse 4. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet.
Right. Who would ever hear the sound of the trumpet? Keep reading.
And taketh not warning.
Read.
If the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
Right. If he doesn't warn the people of the danger coming, right, his blood's going to be on his own head. Right. That's what happens. Right. That's what happened to Martin Luther King. Right, you could see the brother was assassinated, right? Some hillbilly assassinated Martin Luther King because he knew that his dream was to get as many brothers to sleep with as many of Esau's daughters as he could, right? I'm gonna keep reading 1 second. This is how you know what a prophet would do. He heard the sound of, this is Ezekiel 33 verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning of his blood. Salaki, and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the crowd come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Right? Listen, you should mind yourself and be very, very careful what you tell the children of Israel to do.
Right.
And before you take that leadership role, right? Because your blood will be on your head and on your hands, your own blood for what you've done. That's what happened to all the. Have you ever noticed? Look at all the black leaders that we've had that haven't told us that we're Israelites and we're supposed to follow the laws of the Most High. They've all perished, every single one of them. Salaki Adiyar.
Come, Messiah in Christ. Understand to what I preach. Understand? And also, if I may add, also with that precept, you understand that the preacher or the leader, you understand, that's above the people, supposed, you understand, to warn the people, you understand. Just like Martin Luther King, those preachers brought those sisters to have sex. Martin Luther King should have been like, you understand, no, we're not gonna have sex with those sisters. You understand? Send them back home. That sister that said, well, I don't want to have anal sex, Martin Luther King should have, you understand, raped them. You understand? We speak against these things, man. We speak against, you understand, against child sex. We speak against, you understand, like adultery, where you having sex with another man's woman, or a woman having sex with another man when she have a man. You understand? We speak against, you understand, these vile sexual deviancies, you understand, in the black community. Well, your Christian preacher is the one that's doing it, just like Martin Luther King. You understand? When you understand the Bible, when you read the Bible, you will realize that your Christian preachers, understand? I don't care whatever religion, denomination that you might say, your Christian the Bible speak against your Christian preacher, man. You understand? Because they're not teaching you exactly what to do, how to love God. They don't care about what happens, you understand, to so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. They're not in the reservation, you understand? Matter of fact, give it up for Officer 50 Barakala tonight. Officer tonight, you understand, tonight, he's in the reservation, you understand?
Salakia, Officer 500. Officer 500.
Come on. Salakia, you understand? Officer 500 Barakala, you understand? Tonight, he's in the reservation tonight, you understand? Spending time with the native, man.
Right.
You understand? Your preacher will never go to the reservation and care for the native. Ask them how they're living. Spend money with them. But he will be in the hotel room having sex, you understand, with prostitute. Let's get more on the article, you understand? You said he was in Munch, right? Well, let's see let's see what that brother was munching. So, let's get more on that.
King told her that to perform such an act would help your soul.
Whoa,
it will help you.
Lord have mercy. Priest, didn't you just read the precept? You understand? Let's speak about that.
You
understand? Like your Bible, the Bible speak against Martin Luther King and against preacher just like Martin Luther King, man.
Right.
If you read the Bible and you're still in church, you don't understand what you just read.
You're right.
And you don't understand, and you don't see exactly what's going on in the Black, Hispanic, and Native community. You become blind to it. It doesn't affect you because it doesn't happen to you, man.
Salakia, if I may.
Go ahead, please.
Like, you could damn near make the connection of, well, we already know that the connection is there, right? The Black church acts just like the Roman Catholic Church, right?
Right.
And the Roman Catholic Church comes from Greek and Rome, right? And what we're reading is exactly a regular day in Greece or Rome.
Come on. You understand? That's exactly what we're reading, priest. Orgies, bestialities, you understand? Homosexualities. This is it, you understand? Just like you say, you understand? This is exactly the Greek culture. You understand? This is really Roman culture, man. You understand? This is what you following in your church, man. We warning you, you understand? We warning you. Just like Officer Zabadja just read. We warning you, you understand? We see the wrong in the neighborhood. We see exactly, you understand? Those preachers are not telling you the truth. Those people, you understand? Those so-called Black leaders, you understand? They're not leading you anywhere but more in hell, man. This damn Afro-Sodomite, you understand, said, well, if you have anal sex with all these men, it's good for your soul. That's your preacher. That's your Christian preacher, man. Am I lying? We just seen an Asian preacher, you understand? Bringing a little kid on stage and fondling her titties, man. Slapping her behind and showing her sexual position inside of the church, and everybody on the church just laugh and clap. Nobody said, well, goddamn. It stops right here. Nobody in the church say that, man. This is what you're saying, Mosiah in Christ. This is what you're saying, man, in the Black community. Liars, you understand? Predators. That's the speech of a predator, man. If you don't have anal sex, well, you know what? If you don't let all these men, all these preachers that's here have anal sex with you, it's not gonna be good for your soul. Letting them have anal sex with you is good for your soul. Well, sisters out there, isn't that how these molesters are outside? Those men that have sex with you, you understand, that treat your body just like a garbage and just throw you away, just want you for sex. Isn't that the same thing? Well, you know what? You should blame Martin Luther King. You should blame Martin Luther King because that brother, you understand, make you have a threesome, gang bang. You understand? All these men treat you like garbage. You understand? And you think, you understand, it's satisfying. I seen a woman the other day saying, I love being gangbang. That's because of Martin Luther King. You understand? There's some evil things out here, you understand? And it's time to get out of the Christian church. Let's get more.
Come on. 1 second. King told her that, I read that. King announced that he preferred to perform unnatural acts on women and that he had started the International Association for the Advancement of Eaters. Salakia.
You could say box eaters, kitten eaters, man. You understand? Kitten eaters, man. You understand? Like, now, bear with me a second. You understand? I'm explicit, Officer Abaja. I go wild. Now, imagine all this anal sex. He's having anal sex with the woman, then putting his rod back in the kitten in the box. Then after that, eating the box.
Yikes!
That brother was munching, man. You understand? That brother is just like you say. You understand? The statue looked like, you understand, the brother was a muncher. You understand? He was a muncher, man. You understand?
Right.
This brother was munching more than he should swallow. You understand? Yeah. This is your Martin Luther King, man. You understand? So like Manasseh Zengo say, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know about that. Well, this is why we have the classes. You understand? This is why the I.S.U.P.K have classes. We show, you understand, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian things that they don't know. You understand? This is why we have these classes, to wake up black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. You understand? To wake up the 12 tribe. And not only that, the 12 tribe, you understand, spread across all the earth in every nation. I understand why white people put this bastard in our face now. Exactly. This is why they put Martin Luther King in our face now. Because he's just like them. You understand? He's just like the Roman. He's just like, you understand, like Bill Clinton, who was, you understand, what was that? There was a dog name, that last name, Monica Lewinsky, the one that was given. I mean, the one that was giving
Monica Lewinsky.
Come on, you understand? So Martin Luther King is just like Bill Clinton. He's just like the Romans. He's just like, you understand, like Donald Trump. He's just like, you understand, every so-called oppressor. So that's why, you understand, he reached the mountaintop, because he's just like, you understand, his father, the devil. You understand? And the lust of his father, he will do. You understand? That's why they put Martin Luther King in front of all black people. This is who you should idolize, because he's just like them. He's as filthy and disgusting as them. Meanwhile, they're not gonna put Commander General YAHANNA, you understand, on the statue. They're not gonna give Commander General YAHANNA a holiday. They're not gonna do that with Dessalines. They're not gonna do that with Toussaint Louverture, with Christophe. They're not gonna do that, you understand, with Malcolm X. What about Malcolm X though? Why we don't see no Malcolm X holiday, Ak? Even in the movie, you understand, when a white woman, they send a white woman to Malcolm X. You understand? Even in the movie, they show a white woman came up to Malcolm X and say, how can I help you further your cause? And that's always how it's happened, man. You understand? A white woman, a strange woman, they will send an Arab. You understand? You understand? You know, what you might call. But Nybrief were trying to pick, you understand, a good, you understand, is a passable dog. A passable looking dog, you understand, and say, well, you know what, Officer Abaja, how can I further your cause? I see what you're saying. You better than all the black men out there, because you have knowledge of self. I like that about you. How can I further your cause? Well, you know what, Officer Abaja got that strength and the Holy Spirit on him, and be like, no way, no how. Bye, dog. You understand? Not Martin Luther King. Malcolm X had that spirit as well, and this is why, you understand, Malcolm X, even in the movie, when the white oppressor, you understand, asked her, how could I further your cause? Malcolm X looked at her, you understand, in the movie, and said, nah, you can't help me. Can't do nothing, you understand, that will help me. Well, not Martin Luther King. You understand? He founding that he wanted to be the creator of the vagina eaters. So like you understand? You understand this? and always keep in mind, you understand? I'm not saying not to, you understand, treat your woman good, you understand, and whatnot, you understand? That if that's your woman, hey, whatever, you understand? The marriage bed is undefiled. That's your woman. You do whatever you want. But in an orgy, they're having sex with, you understand? Another man probably bust in her, you understand? Bust a nut in her salakia, and he's gonna munch on that vagina. You understand? They're having anal sex. He's gonna munch on that vagina. Yeah, you understand? Even the little one, like, yeah, you understand? Well, that's exactly Martin Luther King. That's who they put in our face like him. You understand? You understand? Sister Barakov said because he was not nasty like MLK, he didn't want to play that game. Exactly, you understand? And at the end of, before Martin Luther King died, he said, I integrated my people in a burning house. He realized what he had done. He realized exactly that his dream, his prophecy was a false prophecy, man. God didn't speak to him. God didn't tell him, you understand, give him that dream. You understand? If God would have given him a dream about what, you understand, the future, it will say, you understand, it will destroy those people that oppress God's people, man. The same way that God destroyed Egypt. The same way that God destroyed, you understand, Assyria, Babylonia. The same way God destroyed all these empires for having the children of Israel as slaves, the same way that God will destroy America, Canada, you understand, Europe, for, you understand, putting his children, the Jews, the real Israelite, in slavery, man. If God is not giving you that dream, that's not God. I mean, you should be on your knees more, go in the Christian church and be on your knees more and pray, because that's not God. Right. You understand? God would not give you a dream where, you understand, white people and black people will be together. That's the devil. That's Satan.
Listen, Salakia.
Go ahead, please.
Even you listen to the things that the Lord told the prophets that they left for us, right? That are gonna happen. Listen, it was not Martin Luther King's dream, right? Them heathens are gonna cleave onto us. If you go into Isaiah, you go into Revelations, they're gonna be begging for mercy, right? Martin Luther King is just a brother that he put his lust before his people, right? That's what he did. Like he took the money and hold it out. But Martin Luther King was a trick.
God, he was a traitor. Understand? And if you realize in the New Testament, right? In the New Testament, especially in the section of Paul, in the letters of Paul, Paul is really emphasizing on the lust. Lust. You see lust a lot of time in the New Testament. Why? Because exactly like men like Martin Luther King. You understand? Right. Because of that. Why? Because they knew with great power come great responsibilities. You understand? Yeah. They knew with all that power, what happens? You understand? You be tempted, you understand, because you have all the power. You understand? All the women want you. You understand? They won't say no because you're the man. You understand? Well, this is what Paul was preaching, you understand, about fighting your lust. And something that you will not learn outside of the UPK. How to fight your lust. Understand? How to change your life. You understand? How to see clearly. How to use your brain. You will not have that outside of the UPK. Why? Because all these other leaders or so-called leaders are really men that are lustful. That's what we see in the Christian church. That's what we see with the politicians. Now, you understand? That we have politicians, you understand, with the Epstein. I don't even have to go to the Epstein scandal. You understand? Where a lot of politicians are doing the same thing. You understand? All these people, you understand, now outside of the UPK, Akim is hell. It's hell, right. is disgusting things, is munching. Specifically munching. Munching on everything. You understand? They're munching on everything, Akim. Just like Dr. King. If you understand? That doctor was for the, you understand? The doctorate of munchers. You understand? That's what he got a doctorate from. Munching. That's your Dr. King. That's what they put in our face. You understand why? Because he's just like them. If you are different than them, what do? They will tell you, understand? They will vilify you. They will tell you not to come to Canada. They will call the government and say, well, don't let them gather together. Even though we speak about the Bible, even, you understand, we speak against child molestation. We speak against rape. We speak against, you understand, drugs. They will say, you understand, don't let them gather. Why? Because we are not like them. You understand? Precept. Come on, Akim. Because we are not like them. Because we are not like them, they are against us. If we were like them, they will accept us and give us, you understand, give us an holiday, you understand, because we are like them. Precept, Akim.
Slack the other one.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Not this precept. Listen good. Because we are not like them, they will call the cops. They will tell Communist YAHANNA, you understand, not to come to Canada. They will say, you understand, call the landlord of the place where we was at in Toronto and say, don't let them in the place because we are not like them. But if we were like them, just like Dr. King, munching on everything, having anal sex with every woman, if we were like them, they would have said, you know what? Let's give them, you understand, an holiday. Let's welcome black man. This is the man, you understand, you should be like. Reset back here. Christ, go to Christ. Christ's word. Because you are not like, you understand? Because you are not of the world. Y'all know this precept back here?
Come on, sir. I'm getting it right now. 1 second.
Let's get it.
It's John 17 and 16.
Voila.
One second.
Hey, Shalom, Officer Barkella, Yabashim Yosha Barakata. Understand? Officer Barkella with the native.
Hey, Shalom, Barkella.
Officer Barkella, you understand, with the native tonight, you understand? You understand? Kanawaki. You understand? One day we'll be, you understand? We'll all go, you understand, to Kanawaki one day. I can, you understand? There was a good restaurant over there. They got, you understand, some good poutine, sweet poutine too. Pizza too, man. You understand? Good food over there. Understand?
It's a lucky out of one.
Go.
I got the scripture, John 17 and 16. This is John chapter 17, verse 16. They are not of the world.
Go.
Even as I am not of the world.
Read it again. Read it. Go from the top. I will question.
Come on. John chapter 17, verse 16. They are not of the world.
They are not of the world. You understand? This is Christ talking about the apostles, right? And this is the same thing with the UPK. We are not of this world. What does that mean? And this is why, to all the Christians out there, this is why when you read the Bible, you got to understand the context of what you're reading. If you don't understand the context of what you're reading, you will not understand the Bible. Because like now we see the word world. In John 3:16, for God so loved the world. But now Christ is saying they are not of the world. So you have to understand the context of what you're reading. John 3:16, the same word, you understand? The same usage of the word world in John 3:16 is the same usage as this world over here. Because they are not of the world. They are not of the world. You understand? Which means what? They are not of this society. They are not like the Greeks. They are not like the Roman. They are not, you understand, like the Caucasian in the United States, in Canada, you understand, in France, in England. They are not like them. You understand? They don't celebrate Christmas. They don't celebrate Halloween. They don't celebrate, you understand, Martin Luther King days. You understand? They don't celebrate the goddamn Easter that they have where you have, you understand, like rabbit laying eggs. They are not like that. They are different than the world. You understand? They are different than what you see outside. They're not going to have sex with another wife. They're not going to molest children. We don't molest kids over here, man. But we save kids' life.
Right.
ISUPK, man.
Right.
Khan.
You understand? We're not, you understand? We are not of the world. Go ahead, also, Barakala.
Khan. Even I, so like even as I am not of the world.
Even as I am not of the world. This is the words of Christ, right? Now, John 3:16, Christian, for God so loved the world. Well, Christ is not of the world, neither are the apostles. So what does that mean? John 3:16. Which world is in John 3:16? The world in John 3:16 is talking about the world of the Israelite. The world, you know, the same way in this world, you understand? I am not of the world. I am not like, you understand, the pagan. I am not like the Romans. I am not like the Greeks. I am not like the Babylonian. You understand? I am not Kemetic. I am not, you understand, Afro-Africa, you understand, Pan-Africa. I am not of the world. I don't celebrate my birthday. I'm not into voodoo. I don't, you understand, I don't worship this false god. Because what? I am not of the world. That's what Christ is saying. You understand? It is absolutely necessary you understand the context of what you're reading when you're reading the Bible. And the only place where you get the full context of what you're reading is in these classes, man. This is why we have these classes. This is why we ordered by Community Journal YAHANNA to have these classes in Canada like this. You could understand this Bible, because preachers just like Martin Luther King will tell you lies and rape you instead of telling you the truth of the Bible, man. We'll tell you the truth for free and save your goddamn life. You understand? We are not like the preachers, man. Keep on going.
Verse 17. Sanctify them through thy truth.
Go ahead.
Thy word is truth.
Thy word is truth. Go ahead.
Verse 18. As thou hast sent me into the world.
As thou hast sent me into the world. Go ahead.
Even so have I also sent them into the world.
Even though I will send them into the world. You understand? Which means what, Akim? Anybody?
So like one. So when it say you know, sanctify them through thy truth, that word is truth, it's like let me know if I'm mistaken. It's like, you know, make them separate with the truth, you understand, by teaching them the truth. Basically when you teach them is, you know, when we have these classes, when we're at camp, you know, listen to the word that we speak, so we teach them the truth. And verse 18 is just like Christ was teaching the truth to the Gentiles who were Israelite living among the heathens. The disciples, Christ sent them to teach among Gentiles who were Israelites living among the heathens.
I send them in the world, which means exactly what you said is exactly that. I send them in the world. I send them in those people, you understand? We have a mission, you understand? And what you said is exactly, you understand, perfect, Officer Barakala, because when we go in camp, we go in the public, you understand, speaking with the public, we go in the world. We go wake up every so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, but at the same time, you have, you understand, all the nation. But we go in that world of our people that are following these other nations. Understand? They become Gentiles because they follow the Gentiles. So we go in the world of the Gentiles to teach the Gentiles. You understand? Just like Paul was doing. That's exactly what Paul was teaching as well. Go into the world of the Gentiles to teach the Gentiles, and those Gentiles are the Israelite, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that are living and following the cultures of, you understand, of the other nations. You understand? You have to understand the context. You understand? Go ahead. Keep on going with the verse.
Verse 19. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they might be sanctified through the truth.
All right. You on John 17?
John 17, chapter 17, verse 19.
Go on John 15, 19, Bible question.
John chapter 15, verse 19. If ye were of the world.
If you were of the world, that's the precept I was looking for. If you were of the world, go ahead.
Kamakan, if ye were of the world would love his own.
And this is why they love Martin Luther King. You understand? Because why? Because Martin Luther King was of their world, which meant and you understand what they produce, what they teach, their theology, their culture. You understand? Just like us as a Badger said, you understand? All this orgy and everything is Greek and Roman culture. Well, this is exactly what Martin Luther King was doing. This is why they love Martin Luther King. Why? Because he's just like them. He's of their world, of their society. You understand? The word world in the New Testament in a lot of places mean age or age, society, empire, era. You understand? Which means when Christ said, I understand, when it says on John 3:16, for God so loved the world, it's talking about the Israelite world, their society. But if you understand, if they were of the world, if they were of the other world, or of the Roman, of the Greeks, they would have been loved, just like Martin Luther King. This is why they have, you understand, like almost in every city in the United States, you could find a statue of Martin Luther King, right? Almost.
Right.
You understand? Why? Because he was of their world. He was the black man, you understand, that was of their world. So they love him. You understand? Hooray about Martin Luther King. That's in the white man's mind. Be like Martin Luther King. Why? Because he's of their world. Keep on going.
Kamakan, but because ye are not of the world.
Because what?
Because ye are not of the world.
Because you are not of the world, Officer Zabaja, Officer Shawan, Officer Barakala. Because you are not of the world, what happens then?
But I have chosen you out of the world.
Because you are not of the world, Officer Zabaja, you don't celebrate Christmas. You don't celebrate Halloween, Officer Shawan. You understand? You don't celebrate your birthday. We don't have sex, you understand, with another man's wife. You understand? We don't eat crab, shrimp, and lobsters. You understand? We don't vote for another nation, which is a sin. You understand? We don't follow the culture, or we don't put a leader of another nation above us. You understand?
Right.
This is why we don't follow these other religions that were made by white people, because following a religion that was made by white people is putting a leader on top of you that is not your nation. That's a sin in the Bible.
Right.
You understand? You follow exactly a religion. You understand? Adventist, Catholic, you understand? Whatever, you understand? Baptist, just like you see with the reverend that's Baptist and having orgies. You follow them, it is a sin, because white people made these religion. So following them is a sin. Putting another race, you understand, of people above you is a sin in the Bible. You understand? And we'll do the, you understand, the law class for it as well. I'll keep the subject for the law class. But we don't do these type of things. So what happens? The world doesn't love us, Akim. But now Brief is steady watching us. Understand? Matter of fact, also Barakela, you could ask also Barakela, he received a letter because we celebrated Passover during COVID in Montreal. And in the letter, you understand, it says that, you understand, they're watching us, you understand, with weapons, with swords and knives in the pictures and everything. You understand? Which means they're watching our pages. I.S.U.P.K Canada, you understand, I.S.U.P.K Quebec, I.S.U.P.K Haiti. They're watching our pages because we are not of the world. They don't want coming in YAHANNA to come in Canada because we are of the world. Yet, you see pedophiles coming in Canada all the time. You see rapists coming in Canada all the time. You understand? Let's get more.
Kamakan, therefore the world hated you.
The world does what?
Hated you.
Do they hate Martin Luther King?
Claro.
They don't hate Martin Luther King. Do they hate Dessalines?
Claro.
Now, Dessalines, does the world hate Dessalines? Do we see a Dessalines holiday?
La, you don't see that at all.
Exactly. Because he was about chopping white people's head and burn their houses down. You understand? He's not of the world. I'm not saying he was in the truth, but you understand, he was close to, you understand, something in the truth. You understand? Just like Malcolm X. Malcolm X, when he went to Egypt and Arabia, he went over there, he realized, you understand, that he was an Israelite. They were saying Yahudi, Yahudi, in, you understand, in their language, in Arab. Why? Because and when you talk to Arab, I can do this next time you talk to Arab, ask them, am I Yahudi? Yahudi is Jew, you understand? Jew in their language, just like Yahawada, you understand? They say Yahudi. So ask them, am I Yahudi? And either they laugh, they're gonna laugh, smile, just walk away, or they're gonna tell you, yes, you are. Which means you are a Jew, because they know who you are. You understand? Well, the world hates you because you tell the truth. The world hates you, officers of Baja, because you're trying to change Toronto. You're trying to make, you understand? You remember at camp when we had that sister at camp half naked? You understand? A butt cheeks, and that sister, you understand, was a sister, you understand, good looking sister as well in the face. You understand? And with that knowledge, she would be even more beautiful. But with, you understand, because of the spirit that was on her, she's not attractive. You understand? She's not attractive. You already see, you understand, that sister is lost, you understand, a goddamn mind to walk outside, you understand, butt ass naked with a, you understand, with an ass cheek outside. But you know what? Who would have loved that? Martin Luther King. Come here, girl. You understand? Come here, girl. I'm the you know what I mean, kitten muncher over here. It's a lot here. Martin Luther King would have tell her, I'm the kitten muncher over here. Come here, girl. Well, we will go against that type of spirit. We will go against, you understand, that type of deviancy and that type of behavior. And this is why the world hates us. This is why B'nai B'rith hates us. B'nai B'rith is not trying to close all the churches, black churches in Canada. They're not trying to close the churches, you understand? Whatever religion. They're not trying to close these churches, but they want to close you.
Salakia.
Go ahead, priest.
If I may, right? Martin Luther King would have hated us because we follow Christ. Right?
Exactly.
Just like every pastor hates us because we follow Christ. What it's really saying is Martin Luther King would have hated Christ.
Right.
Come on, give him man.
If I may.
Of course.
See, Martin Luther King was a Christian, and it just showed, just like Officer Baja said, Martin Luther King would have hated Christ. You understand? And he was representing, like, Martin Luther King is the face of black Christianity in a way, right? So just show you how black Christians would have hated Christ as well. You understand? Right. Because Christ was all about, you know, all about his people. He wasn't for the whole planet, like they say, for the world whatsoever. You understand? Christ was not for integration. Right. If it was today, Christ would have supported segregation. You understand? Just to show you how today's Christian, so-called blacks, Latinos, or Native Indian Christian would have hated Christ to the core because he would not have supported integration.
God, you understand? And really, like, you understand, just like you said, Officer Zabaja, Officer Barakella, the Christian would have hated Christ today because the image they have of Christ today in the churches is what Martin Luther King said. You understand? Is what those Christian preachers are saying. You understand? Christ was about love for everybody. You understand? He's coming back with kisses and flower. You understand? This is the image they have of Christ. Meanwhile, Christ is a warlord, man. Just like God is a warlord. You understand? Meanwhile, you understand? The Southern poverty law, you understand, whatever they have, you understand, in the United States, would have said Christ was an extremist. If Christ was living today, they would have said Christ was an extremist. Just like they say that about you, that about all of you, you understand, in this video, in this class today. They would say Christ is exactly as extreme, matter of fact, more extremist than you, Officer Barakella, Officer Zabaja, Officer Shawan, and myself. Christ would have been more extremist than you understand? That's what they would have said. And Christian wouldn't be able to support that. You understand? Christian wouldn't be able to, you understand, cope with that. Why? Because you understand, Christian don't like Christ. Christian want, you understand, something where it is at ease. They could do whatever, you understand, lust and full, you understand, fulfill all their desires, you understand, and just be happy in the world where everybody's happy. No, it's not gonna happen like that. You understand? This is not the image of Christ. Matter of fact, so like, give me 2 seconds, all right? Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I have this book over here. Let me see if all right. Yes. No, it's not this one. It's a lot. It's probably over there. But there's a book, right? It's not all literal and everything, but there's this book that I have that talks about Christ. You understand? And you understand? It talks about Christ and how Christ was a revolutionary. You understand? It's about, like, it'll give you a little bit of history and everything into Christ and what he was doing. And in that book, they're saying, you understand, that Christ wasn't like the Christian church made it up to, made it up to be. He was exactly hardcore like a MF. Christ didn't play no game. And this is why Christ went in the temple and whoop people in the temple. Christ would have whooped, you understand, Martin Luther King's behind. He would have slapped him up, you understand, choke him up, slapped him up, pop, pop. How can you do that to, you understand, to women, rape women, and after that come and talk to her about on Sunday, talk about God? Meanwhile, while, you understand, he made that Million Men March, he was having sex in the hotel, having orgies, anal sex, and forcing women to have anal sex, raping women. That's your Martin Luther King, man. Why? Why they separate Martin Luther King? Why they put him in the forefront? Because he's just like your oppressor. And so is your Christian preacher, man. He's just like your oppressor. Once you realize that, once you could understand that, maybe you will change your mind. Maybe you will leave the Christian church. Maybe you realize, you know what? There's only one man that really follow Christ, and that's coming in Journal YAHANNA. Maybe
right,
you really
right.
You understand? And you'll be in the ISUPK.
Right.
You understand? If you're really tired of all this sexual deviancy in black community, you should be in class in the UPK. You should be, you understand? Signing in the, you understand? Signing links. You understand? Be in the trooper program. You understand? Like this, you understand? You could learn. You could ask questions. You could realize, you understand, who you are. You could understand the breakdowns of the Bible. You could have the precept upon precept online, you understand, lined up. And you could learn history just like, you understand, like that dude, you understand? What his name? Understand? That dude that said, well, I didn't know that about Martin Luther King. Manasezengo. Well, you know what? Now you will learn exactly what, you understand, why the white man, you understand, put him up, you understand, as a man, as a leader, as something black people should follow. Now you understand that. You understand? That being said, you understand, Akim, if y'all want to say anything, go ahead, all right?
So like y'all one.
If I
well, Sabra Kelly, let us
if I could, like,
Okay.
go ahead, please.
If I could, I was just gonna say, like from what we brought out today, you should get a definite understanding that Martin Luther King was not even a champion for the people. He was not a leader, not a protector, not anything good for us, right? He was basically a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? He wanted us to destroy ourselves, a plant or an agent, right? If anybody, so like I'll say it like this: whoever the heathens nations come to us and prop up, we have to very, very, very scrutiny, or I was gonna make up a word and say scrutinous, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say scrutinous. That's a new word I made up right now. You have to be scrutinous to the people that the oppressors come to us and say, this is a good man. He's black. We like him. He should be your leader. We got to look at him with a crooked eye.
And Babu question, priest. Before Sabra Kelly, go ahead. Before we go, I just want to add something else. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna read something more so y'all could get something else. You know what I'm saying? I would like to give y'all the 200 pages and everything.
Right.
You understand? You understand? But also, Rocky, I'll go ahead and also, Zubaja, get that article already. You understand? After the advancement of kitten eaters, you understand? That's something really necessary. You understand? I want to bring.
Kawaka, hey, Salakia. I just want to say this. It's 2023. We should see by now for all the so-called woke people, you understand, all the brothers claiming, to know the truth whatsoever, to not be a slave mentally. Y'all should know by now that Martin Luther King only followed his lust. He wasn't for his people. You understand? I'm not sure if that's politically correct, so correct me if I'm wrong, Adawanyan, but Martin Luther King was just a horny race trader. That's all he was.
Also, Zabaja said it the best. He was a muncher.
Yeah, he was a munch.
He was a munch. You understand? The white woman said, "You thought I was feeling you. That nigga's a munch." That's what the white woman said. You understand? Salakia, but Martin Luther King only followed his lust. He didn't follow his people. You understand? Salakia, he wasn't for the people. He wouldn't follow the Most High, just like all the Christians claim they do. You understand? Because Christians claim, to follow the Most High. Martin Luther King was talking about, if the white man hits me on the right cheek, I just saw turn to the other cheek, or whatever stupidness the Christian's saying, talking about, if he hits me, I'm gonna let him hit me. I won't hit back. Plus, a lot of our people would say Martin, when we say that Martin Luther King is a false prophet, they would say that he's actually a prophet because he had a prophecy. But his speech, you understand, when it's a prophecy, is the Most High delivering the message to you, right? But Martin Luther King stole his speech from a heathen. Yeah. Not just from another man, from a heathen man. You understand? That's just to show you how we should not follow Martin Luther King, not only because he's a Christian, but he followed after the heathens. Yeah. You understand? That's all I want to say for now. Right. So I don't want to stretch it too much.
God, yeah. It's like the only thing I'm munching is my woman. It's like no prostitute. It's like hey, sidebar. Right. All right. Also, Zabaja, you know what I mean? Let's get more on the. Let's get back on the article where you was at. All right. Okay. After the kitten muncher thing.
Which part exactly do you want me to read? Do you want me to read that right after that?
Yeah, come.
A Las Vegas, Nevada hotel room was the scene of another of King's sex orgies during the early morning hours of April 27, 1964. A white prostitute.
Salakia, go ahead.
I just want to ask, Salakia, Officer Budget, did you say Las Vegas?
Of course. Of course.
Salakia.
Sin City.
Martin Luther King was, he was thinking what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Listen, Salakia. If you're sinning in Vegas, we're going to find out about it and we're going to talk about it. Right? Whatever you and your woman do in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Go ahead, Reese else's body.
Salakia. Well, I was going to read.
White prostitute.
A white prostitute was engaged for a king by a woman immediate. Salakia, what does that say? Intermediary.
Believed to be a lesbian.
Believed to be a lesbian. I can't see that last part because it's crossed out for me.
Come.
King. Salakia, I'm trying to read this thing.
Okay. Skip that. Just go associate.
King and a associate indulged in repeated acts of sexual intercourse with the prostitute in the presence of the woman who had engaged the prostitutes.
So now,
Salakia.
so now you have, like, you understand, lesbian. Yeah, this is go to the Me Too movement, right? And one thing, yeah, when I
Right.
was in the world, a lot of things, you understand, that happen in the world, like when you have like prostitute, you understand, like you have a woman that's bringing other women to men. A lot of them are lesbian or bisexuals. You understand? Which means even the women in the Me Too pro movement, they don't give a damn about women. They just want women. You understand? Just want to be pimped, actually. Understand? To put it in, you understand, the
Salakia.
best. Go ahead, please.
It's when I'm reading it, it sounds like he had a madame service, like he had
Yeah,
some
that's exactly what
pimping
it
boat.
is. You understand?
Right.
That's exactly what it is. Those madam service, those madam are mostly, you understand, sometimes they could have a husband and everything, have children, but really they're into women and they just want women, you understand, to suffer and to, you understand, make money off women. That's the Me Too movement. You understand?
Yeah.
Baba
That's the Me
Kashak.
Too. Go ahead.
No, Salakia, you can finish.
No, go ahead. Check.
Now I was gonna say I got a precept now because like we read this last part and I'm thinking of a precept that listen, this is what King should have been telling the people, but he wasn't telling. Like this is gonna extra solidify that he was not a person of God, because you're gonna have some LGBTQ of the community on Church Street type pastor coming up to us and saying, listen, you are lying. You're speaking lies on Martin Luther King. It was okay for him to sleep with Esau's daughters. And if he prostituted himself, it was okay because all he had to do was say, forgive me, Jesus, and he'll be all right. Salakia. So I wanted to read something for you. So Salakia, can someone get me Ezra's 9 and 12, Babu Kashan?
Kawakan.
Right. This is what Martin Luther King should have been telling the people. Right. This is what he was supposed to know. Right. But because he didn't believe in this, and because he was not of the Lord, like there was no angel telling Martin Luther King, like saying the Lord said to do this because it's good for the children of Israel. Right. He might have had Ahab's angel that told him to go do all that other stuff so he could die.
It's like I got the scripture.
Come.
Ezra chapter 9, verse 12. Now therefore give not your daughters unto their sons.
Right.
Neither take their daughters unto your sons.
Right. This is speaking on interracial marriages, right? Something King liked to do. He's in Vegas having an interracial, whatever he's doing. He's having sex with some white woman, some prostitute at that. Right. With he's a listen, King was a hoe, so he liked hoes.
Right.
Keep reading.
Kawakan. Nor seek their peace or their wealth forever.
Right. That's what Martin Luther King should have told the children of Israel. We're going to stay separate. We're not going to board that bus again. We'll just walk and carpool until we can buy one bus and then 2 buses and then 5 buses. And then we'll own our own bus system. Right. He wanted black people to seek their wealth and have peace with them. Right. He wanted Barack, they called you a nigga in the store and said, you can't sit here and order this apple pie. And Martin Luther King was telling you, go in there and make those people make you an apple pie. We're spitting it because they're going to spit in your food.
Kawakan.
Right. And the food don't even taste as good as insert any Black, Hispanic, or Native American woman's name right here. And that's how that it wasn't as good as theirs. Right. Keep reading.
Kawakan. That ye may be strong.
Right. When we were focused on ourselves, we were strong. We had Black Wall Street. We had Seneca Village. We had, you can name all the communities that are in Canada. Right. We were by ourselves and we were strong. We were a nation. Now, because we love the oppressor, listen, you can't even have a high holy day in your communities without someone getting shot. Right. Without someone using drugs, without a sister being abused. Right? We would be strong if we stuck to ourselves. Keep reading.
Khan, and eat the good of the land.
We would have ate the good of our land. Now the oppressors eat everything that we have. Again, that black dollar don't stay in the community, right?
Right.
You want them J's, right? Everyone's rushing out to go buy. They're not buying Balenciagas no more, so they say. But everyone wants the new name brand that we don't own, just so they could turn around and drop Kanye, right? They dropped him. Kanye now he has to go to his own people. Right? Keep reading.
Khan, and leave it for an inheritance to your children forever.
We would have had something good to leave to our children forever. Listen, what are you gonna take out of NDG and Montreal North and Lawrence Heights and Regent Park to give good to your people? Right? You better find the ISUPK to give your children an inheritance.
Khan.
And Martin Luther King did not say that. He did not teach his people this. He was no good for us.
So, if I may.
Khan.
That's powerful. You say that because you see, you've been in my zone, whatsoever. Right. So the man on the store, Beanie, with his clothing store, he's renting the spot. You understand? The barber shop right next to the corner is renting the spot, and he just opened another spot. You understand? So basically, right, the owner is an Arab guy who's owning like the whole, basically almost of the whole corner.
Right.
He owns the building across the street. He owns the building by the pizza spot. He owns the pizza spot. He owns the barber shop. He owns the clothing shop, and he owns the hair shop across the street.
That nigga owns everything. Salakia Barack. What the hell is going on? He's playing Monopoly out there.
That's the point I was trying to make. You understand? That only happened because of Martin Luther King.
Right.
And when we let heathens come in, they're able to own properties and businesses in our neighborhoods, and we have to rent from them. Now we're not able to purchase the building for ourselves. Yes, and when we can have tenants, our own people, or we're not able to make other people rent the spot so they can have their businesses. Whereas our people are heathens, no matter what, we do not own anything. We rent. You understand? Just like I'm just gonna paraphrase, like in Deuteronomy, it says, some people are gonna be high above us, and they're gonna lend to us, or gonna borrow from them. You understand? Right. That's exactly because of integration. You understand? We had to give up neighborhoods like Black Wall Street, which is just an example because there were multiple Black Wall Street, right? We have to give up our businesses so that we can integrate with the others. Now that we integrate with the others, the others don't give a damn about us. Yes, they're only gonna rent to us. They're not gonna, you understand, join with us in any type of way that don't benefit them. If they join with us, it's gonna benefit. It must benefit them in some type of way, regardless. Understand? Because if they don't get any benefits from it, it's like why are they doing it in the first place?
Right.
You understand? Just like in every single Black or Hispanic neighborhood, you see a little Chinese convenience store. Understand? You don't see no so-called Caribbean, Mexican, or Haitian convenience store in Chinatown. You understand? Because they know not to spend the money in other people's pockets. And the Chinese dollars stay in Chinese pockets. You understand? The white dollars stay in the white people's pockets. You understand? The Arabs are gonna spend money with the Arabs. The East Indian, they're gonna hire 10 East Indian people before they hire you. Ever.
Right.
You understand? And that's what we should keep in mind. I mean, even without Martin Luther King, we should be able to see that. But why Martin Luther King is so relevant in this issue is because he was part of the problem. You understand? He became part of the problem. Not only because he's a Christian, but they made him the head of the movement, so it's all on his shoulders. And saying he wanted to bear the responsibility. Well, guess what? He has to bear the responsibility and his fault. So he has to be held accountable. You understand? For a mistake that he committed. You understand? For his dream turning into a nightmare and not being able to reverse it. Salah, God.
Kim, I don't want to take anything from anybody, but you understand. Let's wrap it up, all right? Also, Zabadia, can you go back to the article? Just you understand, I want to bring this out, all right?
Huh. One second, I gotta pull it up.
No sweat, please.
Where do you want me to read?
Simplest where you was at all for individuals. I just want to finish that last part. I could show. I'm gonna show you something after.
All four individuals participated in unnatural acts. The prostitute summed up her reactions with the remark that was the worst orgy I've ever gone through.
God damn. You understand? The worst orgy, you know what I'm saying, she ever go through, you know what I'm saying? This nigga was so disgusting now, man. Even the process was like, God damn, this nigga was now with the first video that we also shot one play, you understand, with Jackie Kennedy, was like this nigga was like that disgustingly, you understand? This nigga was a fraud, you understand? Basically, you understand? Now you see even the prostitute was saying, well, you know what? Nah, I've never been into something like as degrading, as nasty like this, you understand? Like dookie everywhere. You know what I mean? Dookie everywhere. So lucky. All right, let's get it.
Khan, do you want me to continue reading?
Come. Salakia is explicit. It's as explicit as it gets, but you know, since Salakia for that, all right. And three of these.
1 second. Three of these individuals on the height before King was to receive the Nobel Peace Prize and also Norway in December.
Salakia. Three of these individuals, including King, were very intoxicated. You understand? This is the last part. You understand? And this is what you understand. This is what you see. This is your Christian preacher. And after that, this is the man that they give. You understand? What else was about to read is about. You understand? King. Also, you understand? Receiving the Nobel Peace Prize, right? So
Right.
This is the man they give the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize should be and always be given to Community Journal YAHANNA.
Khan.
Understand? Right. That's who it should be given to. You understand? But it's given to a man that's having sex with prostitute, that is raping women, and so on and so on. You understand? Even prostitute was like, you understand? This is the worst thing I ever been in. The worst orgy I ever been in. Like disgustingly. You understand? Who knows what they can't force her to eat or what not, whatever. You understand? I seen the Dubai thing, you understand? The Dubai porta potty, you understand? Porta potty, you understand? Who knows? King was probably just like these MF over there. You understand? All right, Akim. So you understand? We're gonna drop it over here. This will conclude the class. To water for everybody that was in the chat. To water to Sister Carla for being there. To water for Sister Nawa for being there. Fifth dimension seeker. You understand? To water for your output. You understand? You should be an I.S.U.P.K knowledge seeker. You understand? Being the UPK, if you're black, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, all right? And get your Hebrew name with, I mean, that makes sense, that you understand, that shows your character and spirit, all right? To water to Janice Bell, Shalom, sis, Yahweh Shemar Taba Hashem Yashai, to water for being in class, for being in the chat, to water sister Barakwaf, Mana Sezengo, to water as well. You understand? And you understand that will conclude exactly this class for this week. You understand? Don't forget the Passover, man. April 1st, you understand? Raleigh, North Carolina, April 1st. You could, every so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you could be there, you understand? The $200 fees, you understand? Go on isupk.com, pay that $200 fees, bring your family, bring your children, you understand? Let's gather, you understand? This is a day when we, you understand, the Most High, Yahweh by his real name, killed the Egyptians, you understand, for us. You understand? And we commemorate, you understand, the death of the Egyptian. This is what Passover is about. You understand? We call it Pâques in French. La Pâque. La Pâque est à propos exactement que Dieu a tué les Égyptiens pour nous sauver de leurs mains. You understand? Which means what? God doesn't give a damn about these other nations, man. And God will do something even better. You understand? With Christ. Where Christ will, you understand, go to war with all these other nations and destroy these nations, you understand? So we could, you understand, be free once and for all and rule this earth forever and ever and ever. You understand? Lord willing. That being said, to water for everybody, you understand, that's in class. Officer 1000 Zabaja, you understand? Every hitter, a man with knowledge, my brother. Officer 500 Char 1, you understand? Understand? My confidant, you understand? A brother as well. And also 500 Barak Yala, you understand? The lightning, you understand? The host doing the most. You understand? Let's get it, Akim. You understand? Be safe out there. You understand? It's cold a little bit. Also, Barak Yala, you understand? Be safe over there with the native. Show them the UPK spirit. Let's get it, Akim, all right? Shalom to water. You understand? I got a jet. You understand? I got a few places to go right now. You understand? So I'm gonna leave you, all right? Shalom. Yahbashim Yoshabarakatam, Yahushamarta Bashim Yahushad. All right. I pass the class back, you understand, to Officer 500 Shah 1. All right, Akim, I'm going, all right, Akim?
Go on, Council.
Yeah.
These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can read about it in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, funeral offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Purim coming up on Sunday the 5th of March and Monday the 6th of March. You can read about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 to verse 31. To any brother who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers and one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israelite Madium, which means stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahbashim Yad Yamatah, which means hands down, Sar, turn and face the sisters. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar, Yad Yamatah. Class dismissed.